Chosen one, listen closely. God is looking at you right now while you're tired and thinking about all the ways you're not good enough. What he sees would make you fall to your knees. Though not because it's disappointing, but because it's not. He's surprisingly proud of this version, the one where he says, "I don't know how much longer I can do this," and sounds tired. This is the version that almost didn't click play because false hope wears you down. This is why you can't see it. You can't see your own change in real life. If you try to see your own face without a mirror, you'll miss it. Your focus has been on your mistakes. While his has been on your strengths, you've been keeping track of your setbacks while he's been seeing you become the person he wanted you to be. It's already in your head, but you don't know what I've done or how many times I've failed. Don't go. He knows each and every one. He's still incredibly proud. Not later. Not if certain conditions are met right now. I am going to be your mirror for a short time. I'll show you what you can't see. The change that you can't see but have been going through. He cut you off from your scroll to bring you here because one more revelation will make your whole past make sense. Snorts, and that realization starts with this. You were already just what he needed. There's no need to wait. You're already there. I need you to do something first, though, before we go any further. If you felt this word in your bones and said, "Yes, I need to hear this," then hit subscribe to join this small group. Like this video to show that you're ready and leave a comment with the word proud so heaven knows you agree. What you're about to receive isn't just information. It's activation. Let me explain why you're here. This video wasn't found. You did not find this video through an algorithm. You are now focused on the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, the very breath of God. He did this because he has been trying to tell you something for weeks or months, but you keep missing it. The whole time he was telling you to try harder, but you kept hearing. You already became it. You kept waiting for permission, but he was praising you. You keep looking for proof, snorts, that you're on the right path, but the proof is that you're still here, still looking, and still thinking there's more. Think about the last thing you did before you took this picture. Where were you? You might be in your bedroom right now where the lights are dim and everyone is sound asleep. You could also be hiding in your car during your lunch break from coworkers who don't know what you're carrying. You might be in the bathroom at work, which is the only quiet place on the job. No matter where you are, your spirit did something before you clicked. It felt like your soul finally found the frequency it had been looking for. It wasn't a coincidence. What a divine plan that was. Also, you need to know this. If you felt that lurch, it means you're closer to breaking through than you think. So, when God wants to change something, he first sends a message, something that gets in the way of your normal routine, and you can't ignore it. And chosen one. This is your break. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose. Join the conversation and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. But I need to tell you that what I'm about to show you will cost you something. It's going to cost you your words. It will cost you the ease of being small. You will not be able to say, "I'm not ready yet." Because you can't take away what you see when you see it. You also can't play small again once you know you're the person he needs. Are you ready to pay that much? Okay, because I need to name something, a condition you've been living with that has a name. And as soon as I name it, you'll quickly recognize yourself in it. It's known as achievement blindness. When you have achievement blindness, you can't see how you've changed. Your eyes have been trained to only see what's wrong twice, what's missing, and what hasn't been fixed yet by pain, disappointment, and repeated failure. Your eyes have turned into a scanner for flaws. And every time you look at yourself, all you see are the mistakes, the bugs, the glitches. The worst part is that you can't see how much you've grown since you're not looking in the right places for real change to happen. It's not obvious. It takes place in places that can't be seen. In who you are and how well you can love after being hurt. In your ability to believe even when you don't have proof, in your determination to keep going even though giving up would make perfect sense. God sees everything. You don't see any of it. Allow me to explain. Since I last saw you, 7 changes have happened that you can't see. 7 changes you have made that God is incredibly proud of, but you haven't seen at all. I will show you each one. But I want you to know that when I get to the 6th one, you'll be mad at first because it's something you thought was your biggest weakness. But God says it's your strongest quality. And the 7th one will really break you open. But we have to start with the first 3 because they are the most important. As I talk about each change, I want you to pay attention to something. Pay attention to your body. Do not think about it. Feel. You'll know when I hit the one that's yours. It's possible that your eyes will start to water, your throat will get tight and your chest will feel heavy. That is not feeling. That's being recognized. It's your spirit telling you, "Oh my God, that's me." The first change that can't be seen, that God is proud of, is this. You got strong by being alone. That's not the peaceful silence I mean. I'm talking about the sound that used to scare you. The quiet you feel when you pray and no one answers. When there is no answer and God seems to have left the building, there is silence. When there was silence, it used to make you feel like you were being abandoned. Your heart would race and your mind would spin. You would desperately try to fill the void with anything. However, something changed. You aren't sure when it was, but there was a night, maybe last week or 3 months ago, when you were alone and didn't feel scared. There was no scramble. You didn't try to make a sign or a feeling happened. Your body stayed calm while you just sat there. You thought to yourself, "I can handle the quiet." Your heart rate stayed the same. Yes, chosen one. That is a huge change because faith is tested in silence. When God is loud, anyone can believe him. But when he's quiet, no one should think he's gone. God praises mature people who can rest in the silence without making noise in it. And now for what you missed. That strength wasn't taught in church. It happened over and over again. You worked out every time you sat there in silence and didn't run, though you couldn't feel him. Every time you chose to trust that he was there, you changed. Someone who doesn't need to be reassured all the time. Someone who can walk by faith instead of how they feel. God sees that and says, that's exactly who I needed. Not the one who always hears my voice. You who trust me, even when you don't hear anything. The second change that you can't see is in your scars. You now know how to turn pain into medicine. Give this some thought. What were your first thoughts when someone hurt you, lied to you, rejected you, or left you? Most of the time, it's anger. There are walls. I'll never let anyone that close again. It says, and to be honest, that would be okay. You had every right to shut down, get tough, and protect yourself with steel, so thick that no one could ever hurt you again. You didn't, though you did want to. At times, being angry felt good. Fantasizing about getting even felt good. And cutting everyone off seemed like the only sensible thing to do. You did make a choice at some point, though you chose to let the pain shape you instead of make you who you are. You chose to care more about others, not less, and to understand their brokenness better. Not less. Now, when someone comes to you in the same pain you were in, you don't preach at them. You don't fix them. You sit down with them. You let them know how you felt. Being there with them and telling them, I know. I've been there, is the medicine they need. It's alchemy chosen one to turn poison into medicine. It's crazy how proud God is of that because most people waste their pain. Either they bury it and act like it never happened or they use it as a weapon to hurt other people. But you composted it. People can now drink from your wound because you turned it into a well. Can you see that? If you keep saying, but I'm still broken in some areas. That's achievement blindness talking. That's the scanner that looks for flaws instead of seeing the miracle of how the fire made you who you are today. The third change that can't be seen is this. And this is where some of you will start to cry. You still pray in the fire. Let me take you back to a certain time. You were in the worst shape possible. You may have lost something important. You may have just heard the worst news. There may have been times when you were sitting in the ruins of a dead dream and your brain was screaming, God doesn't care. There is no such thing as God. God gave up on you. This doesn't make sense. And yet in that moment, maybe through tears, maybe through gritted teeth, maybe in a voice so small you could barely hear it yourself, you whispered, thank you. Not because you were grateful or because it made sense. But because you trusted his character more than your situation. You didn't mean to praise him, but you did it anyway. When your arms felt like lead, you raised your hands. You told them, you're still good. Even though all the signs pointed to the opposite, those prayers chosen one stop heaven in its tracks. That is the kind of worship that isn't a show. That is not trying to make you feel something, really give up in a way that says even if you kill me, I will still trust you. God. He saw that at that time. He saw you. He could see the war in your mind. Which part did you want to trust more? The part that wanted to quit. There was an angel there. And he told them, that one is exactly who I needed. That person should praise me when things are hard, not when things are going well. Do you get what I mean? The silence became stronger. The scars turned into gold. And the worship took place in the midst of fire. These three changes alone show a transformation that is so deep and complete that only God could have caused it. These things didn't happen because you tried harder. They happened to you as you went through the process. These are only the first three. I need to show you 4 more changes that you can't see. When I get to number 6, you'll want to argue with me because it has to do with something you've been ashamed of or something you thought made you not qualified. I will, however, show you why God calls it your secret weapon. Finally, number 7 is the change that's taking place right now as you listen. The worship that is done in secret and only God can see it. But before we go, I want you to understand this. There's something you can learn from stopping this video right now. But if you stick with me until the end, you'll get activation because I'm going to make everything I've shown you real at the end of this message. Not just information in your head, but information in your cells that changes the way you walk today. Stay with me because the next 4 changes will destroy you in the best way possible. After that, I'll show you what God said about you in the throne room last night. You will be able to carry this out over the next 90 days with the help of a plan that includes specific dates and confirmations. This isn't just another message. This is your time in the mirror when you finally see what He has seen the whole time. The 4th change that can't be seen is about limits. You learn not to feel guilty when you say no. Remember the person you were before someone would ask you for something like your time, energy, or skills. Even when you knew you weren't ready to give. Even though every cell in your body was screaming, "I'm already too thin." You said yes anyway because it felt like giving up to say no. It felt like a fail. This made me think that you were selfish, not Christian, and not godly. You kept giving until there was nothing left up until you were tired and angry at the people you were trying to help. Then you'd feel bad about being angry, which was like getting punished twice. You'd be tired and embarrassed. But something changed. There was a while. Someone may have asked you for something. It felt like that old pressure in your chest again. You have to say yes or you're a bad person. That old voice said you took a deep breath and said, "I can't. Not now." The world did not end. That person did not die. You weren't punished by God for being selfish. Indeed, something changed. You learned that limits aren't walls, they're worship. Because protecting the skills God gave you is a way to honor how He made you. You're telling God, "I trust that you didn't make me limitless. You made me human and that's enough." When God sees that, He sees growth. Finally, He sees someone who knows that you can't pour from an empty cup. That taking care of yourself isn't selfish if it lets you serve others from a place of abundance instead of lack. The 4th change is made. It was something you did without even realizing it. Most people think that spiritual maturity means getting stronger and less affected by pain. The 5th change will surprise you, but you did the wrong thing. In a tough world, you stayed soft. Allow me to explain. You've been through hell, betrayal, loss, disappointment, and pain that should have turned you into stone. That pain would make you cold, cynical, and closed off. There was no reason why you couldn't build walls so thick that nothing could ever reach you again. You didn't though. You got stronger, huh? Please don't get me wrong. You aren't the same naive, easily hurt person you used to be. You learned how to be smart. You became smarter. You learned how to keep yourself safe. But here is the amazing thing. Your kindness didn't go away. You didn't turn into what hurt you. You still have a soft heart that can feel deeply, is moved by other people's pain, and is ready to risk being hurt again because love is worth it. That's not weakness. Chosen one. That's strength. Since anyone can harden, that's what happens when you feel pain. But it's supernatural to stay soft while getting strong. That is the paradox of the soft heart. It makes God so proud. It's crazy because most people waste their pain by being angry. But you got better. You didn't let the fire destroy you. It made you stronger. This is where some of you will want to disagree with me. The sixth change. God is proud that you were mad at Him. Some of you are pulling away right now. No, that's not right. Good Christians, don't get mad at God. That's disrespectful and sinful. But let me show you something in the Bible that will change your mind. Job 1:10-22. Job has lost everything. His kids were killed. He lost all of his money and his health got worse. What does he do? Then Job rose, tore his robe, shaved his head and fell to the ground worshiping. Most people would stop there and say, that's faith. He worshipped even though he was hurt. But keep reading. Those people worshipped God. And the word Barak doesn't just mean to bless. It means to get down on your knees. But this is crazy. Following chapters. Job doesn't just worship in silence. He asks God something. He makes fun of God. Job asks God, why did you do this to me? I don't deserve this. Show me what I did wrong. And God doesn't punish Job for asking. God says Job spoke the truth about himself, which means Job didn't lie. Job didn't do his job. Job didn't hide his feelings or try to avoid God. Instead, he told God about his anger, confusion, and pain. I have a question for you now. Are you mad at God? Have you screamed at the ceiling? Have you asked for answers? Have you ever asked someone, why won't you answer me? Why is this taking so long? Why did you let that happen? And then felt bad about it. Did you think, oh no, I'm going backwards. I'm losing my faith. God must be so mad at me. Pay close attention that anger isn't a sin. That's being close. Because you only get mad at people who are close to you. You only fight with people who still bother you. You would leave if you really didn't care about God. But you're still here, still fighting, and still telling Him to show up. That's how a kid feels when their parent is late picking them up. It isn't hate. I know you love me, so where were you? That's the anger that comes from wanting to help, not from being turned down. God is proud of you because you cared enough to fight. You are still interested. You're still alive. You can still feel because you're still alive. The seventh change that you can't see is your hidden worship. This is the one that will destroy you. God is the only one who can see this worship. This has nothing to do with Sunday mornings. This isn't about putting up your hands in church for everyone to see. It's about the private times when nobody is looking, no one is judging, and no one is impressed. When you're driving alone and a worship song plays, you take your hand off the wheel. It's not because someone told you to. It's just because you felt like it, or you whisper thank you while doing the dishes for no reason. You could be walking to the mailbox and looking up at the sky. Just take a deep breath and say, I trust you. God loves those kinds of worship because they aren't a show. They don't want to be seen. These words come from a heart that truly cares about Him, even when no one is listening. Matthew 65 says, when you pray, go into your room, shut the door, and pray to your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you. This kind of prayer shows that your relationship with God is real. As in real, not just religious or social. I want to know when the last time was that you went to church alone. When you thanked Him for a little thing, when you talked to Him like a friend instead of like you were following a formula. You don't realize how often those things happen, but God sees them all and is incredibly proud of you. Those are the 7 changes that you can't see. I'll say them again so you can tell which ones are yours. There is worship under fire. The boundary blueprint, the soft heart paradox, the holy anger and the hidden worship. There is also the strength of silence. This is what God is happy about. Not your accomplishments, not your performance, not how many Bible verses you learned by heart or how many people you reached out to in spite of the fire. He is proud of the person you became. But I have to tell you something that will change everything. Now we move on to the why. What He's proud of and why He's proud, because most people don't see the difference. People stay in performance mode because they don't see this difference even when they hear God loves you. Here it is. God's pride in you is different from ours. Most of the time, people are proud when you did something that made them look good. When their child wins the trophy, parents are proud. When an employee makes the sale, the boss is proud. It depends on things. It is based on what happens. But God's pride is not like that. Let me show you how the Bible fits together. Without faith, it is impossible to please Him. When most people hear that, they think, oh no, I need to have more faith or God won't be pleased. But look at how faith works in that same chapter. He left his home without a map, but with a promise. Moses led the Israelites through the desert without a GPS. He only had a cloud to guide him. David was on the run when he was made king in a cave. Esther went to the king's court even though she knew she could be killed. How does it work? Faith is action plus no proof plus long-term obedience. Even when it doesn't make sense. After Abraham got there, God wasn't proud of him. He was proud of him as he walked along without knowing where he was going. After the Red Sea split, he wasn't proud of Moses. While he stood there with a stick and an ocean, he was proud of him. Can you see it? God's pride doesn't wait for you to do well. The way you do things makes God proud. You're ready to trust Him even though you have no proof. If you don't know what will happen, you can choose to obey. It makes sense that you chose to keep going instead of giving up. He's so proud of you right now because of that. You are still here, still walking, still trusting that there is something on the other side of this pain. Not because you've arrived. That's what makes Him feel proud. The becoming, not the being. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus, a plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. But before we go any further, I need to tell you this, and this is very important. Today morning, everything I just gave you will be gone if I don't deal with this. We haven't talked about something yet that makes me feel bad. It will mess up everything if we don't name it. It's this. You're scared that God is proud. Fear will destroy you. If we don't deal with it right now, part of you doesn't want to believe this. It's because you're afraid, and that fear could be the most holy thing about you. Pay attention to what happened in your body when I said God is shockingly proud of you. Watch that part of the video again. Were you calm, or did you feel scared? Did your chest get bigger or your throat get tighter? Did you want to get it, or did you want to argue? And now for the question that will open everything up. Why would you be scared of a good thing? Since that's what this is. God is proud. I told you that's good news. That should make you feel better. But it caused stress for some of you. You'll mess up everything I just gave you if we don't talk about this right now. This is what's going on in your head. It's been so loud for so long that you think it's your own voice saying something like, if God is really proud of me as I am right now, then I have no more excuses. If He's already given me everything I need and I still fail, then it's all my fault. At least when I thought He was disappointed, I had something to work on. At least when I thought I wasn't ready yet, I had time to get ready. But if I'm already who He needed, what if I mess this up? What if I step into this and I'm not enough? Does that sound familiar? Now, let me tell you what's going on. The blessing doesn't scare you. What scares you is the duty that comes with it. It's not easy to stay broken. When you're broken, you can say, I'm not ready yet. Or, I'm still healing. Being broken gives you limits that keep you safe. But now that you're whole and the person God says you are, you have to take care of things. That means the past is no longer to blame. What that means is you need to use what He gave you. That's really scary. Let me know what you've been up to in this video. You've been sitting. Part of you might want to close this right now while you're in your bedroom, car, or somewhere else. You want to scroll away some of the time. Not because this isn't true, but because you can't live in the past if you accept it. It feels safer to play small. But I'm going to show you something in the Bible that will change the way you think about fear. The story of the talents is found in Matthew 25. When most people read this story, they focus on the servants who put money into it and it grew. But I want you to see the servant with 1 talent. He tells the master, I was scared. So I hid your talent in the ground. This is what most people don't see. This worker wasn't slack. He wasn't acting out. He was scared. And his fear stopped him. This wasn't because he didn't have much. He didn't use what he had because he was afraid. And now for the part that changes everything. The master already gave him the skill. He already had the blessing in his hand. He wasn't required to work for it. There was no need for him to earn it. He had it already. He was afraid though, so he buried it instead of investing it. Does this sound like you? Did God give you something already? You've been hiding a gift, a calling, or an anointing because you're afraid you'll mess it up, that you're not ready, or that people will see you and judge you. Unfortunately for the enemy, fear is his last line of defense. He knows he can't stop your calling, but he can get you to hide it. Now, this gets crazy, and it may sound like I'm contradicting myself, but bear with me. The very fact that you're scared of this blessing shows that you're ready. That needs to be said again because I need you to hear it. Fear is not a reason to be disqualified. Your fear is getting ready. Who doesn't fear being blessed? People who don't know how heavy it is. People who are careless with God's things. People who don't know how much it will cost. You're scared though because you know this is true. It's clear that this will cost you your old name. You understand that you can't become the person you were before. You're taking this seriously because you're scared. God sees their fear and doesn't say, "Oh no, they're not ready." Instead, He says, "Good. They know how important what I'm giving them is. Now, let me give you a framework." The protocol for fear sanctification is what I call it. There are 5 steps you can take to turn your fear into a guide. First, figure out what you're afraid of. Not just "I'm scared," but what are you scared of? Are you afraid of being seen? That's trauma from being seen. Are you afraid of having too much? That's a poor way of thinking. Are you afraid to use electricity? That is a wound to authority. Do you not want to be wrong? That's trying to be perfect. Are you afraid to lose what you've gained? That's a lack. Give it a specific name. Step 2, find out where it came from. Whose voice is this? That voice sounds like your dad's, doesn't it? The voice of your ex. The voice of someone who hurt you. Because most of the fear isn't yours. It's passed down. It's not mine. The sound is an old recording playing over and over. Step 3. Ask yourself, what would this fear keep me safe from? Because each fear is trying to keep you safe. It could be trying to keep you from failing, being turned down, or being let down. That's something you need to respect. Don't just brush it off. Say, "Thank you, fear, for trying to keep me safe." Fourth, notice that safety has turned into jail. There is no longer a threat, but the walls are still up. You're keeping an eye out for a threat that doesn't exist anymore. Not here with the person who hurt you, something that broke you in the past. You still act like the enemy is right outside your door, though. Step 5, let go of it. To be brave, but not by forcing yourself to be brave. To realize that what you thought was safety was actually suffocation. Not out loud, but in your head right now. Picture yourself holding that fear in your hands. Make it clear. How does it look? What color is it? Now let your hands go. Allow it to hit the ground. You've lost the need for it. Now I'll tell you about the 5 sacred fears that chosen ones like you have the most. Not wanting to be seen. This is trauma from being seen. When people saw the real you, it hurt. You learned how to hide. However, God wants you to be seen. That's really scary. Being afraid of having. This is a poor way of thinking. You think that lack means safety and plenty means danger. No one could take anything away from you. When you had nothing, you're afraid you won't be able to handle all the good things God is about to give you. Being afraid to use power, this is a wound to authority. You may have vowed never to have power after seeing someone abuse it, but God has given you power. And being humble doesn't mean not using it. It is disobeying, not wanting to be wrong. This is being too perfect. You'd rather not do anything than do something badly. But God doesn't need you to be just right. He wants you to obey Him, not wanting to lose it. This is a lack. You believe that God can take what He gives Him. You'd rather not have it than get it and lose it. What if the blessing isn't weak, though? What if it's locked up? Which one is yours? Your body just told you that. Now, everything I said about fear is true, but it's not all there is to it. There's something deeper hidden beneath the fear. You will miss the whole point of what God is doing. If I don't show you this, here's the big surprise that will change everything you thought about your trip. You're not getting good enough. You're about to be set free. Allow me to explain. So far in this video, everything I've said has been about becoming, about changing, and how the fire changed you. All of that is true. There's another part to this though that I wasn't ready to tell you until now. Why does the becoming have to do with change? What if it's about remembering? Follow me right now. I want you to ask yourself, who was I before everyone told me what I should be? What you think is the answer is not true. Wait for the picture. Who are you seeing? The child might be brave, not scared, and full of wonder. You might also see a warrior who is strong, sure of himself, snorts, and ready to fight. You might also see a king or queen or someone who knew what they were worth. That's what you're turning into. You aren't making a new person. The real you is being dug up. This is the you that God had in His mind before time began. The you that was buried by shame, pain, religion, and what other people thought you should be like. You believe you're getting better. You're not changing. You're becoming more like yourself. Think about today. You walked by a mirror or saw your reflection in a window and thought you saw someone else for a split second. Not the one who is tired or having a hard time. After seeing glory, your mind told you that's not real. But to the chosen one, that was real. God showed you a glimpse of who you already are beneath all the mess in that split second. You should understand what I mean. You're not making a new name for yourself. You're getting back your original. When you were not in pain, you were a different person. Before shame and religion, put a box around it. Before everyone told you to scale down, be quiet and do less. Paul says in Ephesians 2 verse 10, we are His workmanship, made in Christ Jesus for good works. The Greek word for workmanship is plur, which is where the word poem comes from. You're not a product, you're a poem. You're not mass-produced. You're handcrafted. You're not general. You're specific. You're one of many. You're one of one. And this is what breaks my heart. God didn't write your poem after you were saved. He wrote it before the world was made. Which means you are becoming that person. In His mind, you were already that person. You aren't making yourself. You're learning about yourself. So every time you said to yourself, I'm getting better, you were wrong. You're not getting better. You're becoming real. You're not adding anything good. You're taking away fake layers. God is the sculptor, but He's not making you from scratch. Think of it this way. You are a sculpture. He is cutting away everything that isn't you. He is taking away every lie you believed, every identity you wore to stay alive, and every mask you put on to fit in. What's under there? The real you, the beautiful you, the exact person he needed. That's what it means to become. Not progress, but revelation. Clears throat. That's not what I mean when I say God is shockingly proud of you. I'm happy that you fixed yourself. He's happy that you're finally letting him show who you've always been. And this is what you need to know. There is a method to how he does this something. And knowing what stage you're in now will help you make it through the next 30 days or give up before the breakthrough. I will show you the 3 stages of sacred change. Take a deep breath, because when you hear stage 2, you'll recognize yourself and realize you're further along than you thought. Picture a caterpillar in its cocoon. It breaks down as well as getting wings. Its body turns into a liquid and all of its cells break down. There would be no caterpillar or butterfly inside the cocoon. If you cut it open in the middle of the process, you'd find soup. God wasn't punishing you during that stage. You just went through that soup stage. He was taking down the old building to build the new one. And you're almost done with it. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12 verse 2 says, the Greek word for transformed is metamorpho, which is the same word used for a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. This is not about changing behavior. It has to do with changing cells. And the Bible shows a pattern. There is a timetable for every big change. 40 days of Noah's flood. Moses spent 40 days on the mountain. They were in the desert for 40 years. Jesus spent 40 days in the desert. This is how it works. Isolation plus pressure equals metamorphosis. Let me show you the 3 steps. Now also pay attention, because everything will depend on where you are now. Taking off is the first step. This is when God starts getting rid of old identities that don't work anymore. Your old ways of dealing with things no longer work, no longer do the things that used to make you feel better. Prayer doesn't seem to help. Worship feels like a machine. Your old ways of thinking about God don't work anymore. You believe you have a problem. There's no problem, though. This is done on purpose. God is taking away the false base so that he can build on the real one. How do you understand that you're in this stage? It doesn't make any sense anymore. You feel like you're going crazy. The answer is yes, you are. The false self is leaving you. How long does it last? It's different. For some, it's months. For some, longer. What should you do? You shouldn't try to fix it. We don't need to solve this. It's something you should give up. The soup is the second step. And this is the one that most of you will know. It's dark outside. The old building falling apart completely. This is how it feels. Nothing. You don't sense God. You have no hope. You don't feel anything. It's no longer painful. It doesn't exist. It looks like God left the building and turned off the lights. Here's what's really going on in that soup stage, though. When your old structure melts away, God is rebuilding it at the cellular level. He's not adding anything new from the pieces of who you were. He's making something completely new. Most people give up at this point because they think that if they can't feel God, he must be gone. But chosen one, God is always with you. Even when you don't feel anything, that lack of anything is not absence. That's being so close that you can't tell the difference between it and yourself. How do you understand that you're in this stage? Soul-wise, you can't feel anything. It's all flat. How long does it last? For as long as it takes for the old structure to break down completely. What should you do? Do not leave the cocoon. Do not run. Do not try to make things go faster. Do not think about it. This step is the most important one. You can stop the whole process if you quit here. Taking shape is the third step. We are now in emergence. The new structure is becoming clear. There are times when you feel strong. Days when you feel like yourself again, but different and stronger. What do you know? Seeing this video means you're in this stage. You're about to come out because you're hearing this message. How do you understand that you're in this stage? This video is being watched. How long does it last? You have almost reached the end. What should you do? Get moving. Try out your new wings. Don't wait for more proof anymore. You already have enough. It's time to fly now. Please understand this. Do you want to know why God made you go through all that? Why did the pain have to be so specific? Why did the timing have to be so exact? I'll tell you about 2 Corinthians 13:4. Paul writes, God of all comfort, who comforts us so that we can comfort others with the comfort we have received. This is what most people don't understand. Paul wrote this while he was in prison. After his ship sank, he was beaten and he was turned down. The comfort Paul got wasn't after he had been through pain. It was while it was happening, not when it was over. This is what God is telling you now. Pay attention to your chest. You can now feel your heartbeat. Count them. 1, 2, 3. Keep going until you get to 10. Okay, in those 10 seconds, those 10 beats, someone else on earth just went through the same pain you did last year. And do you know who God is sending them? Not a prophet or an angel. You. Due to the fact that you have antibodies that are specific to their poison, your pain wasn't a fluke. It was very accurate. Every tear you shed helped you feel better. The way you screamed every night turned into a pattern. And there are people who are stuck in the same darkness you got away from. The angels are not audible to them. The preachers are hard for them to hear. They can only hear someone who sounds like heaven but smells like hell. That's you. It's not just about helping other people, though. That still bases your worth on how useful you are. This is the truth. This version of you is what God wanted you to become because this is who He wanted to spend eternity with. Not the better you, not the whole you. This is you. You with scars and tales to tell. You know that His loyalty is real. It's not just a theory. You're not a jerk. You deserve a trophy. He's proud of you because He likes the person you've become. How to figure it out? This pain plus this time plus this length equals the exact person He needed in the end. No, and not close enough. Right on. No matter what you change, the result will be different. In this way, nothing was wasted. If you still don't believe me, let me show you some proof. This sounds good, but does it work? I'll tell you about 3 people who have used it. I'm not going to use their real names, but everything else is true. One of them could sound like you. The first one I call the prophet of the company. She was in charge of marketing but lost her job when the economy crashed when she was 42. After 8 months in the soup stage, nothing happened. Her applications were turned down and her savings were gone. After 9 months, she began writing a blog about her faith in the fire. In 3 weeks, it went viral. Now, she helps executives make changes in their careers. 6-figure business. The exact thing that specific knowledge of the industry plus that specific pain equals unique authority. In terms of time, the shift began in month 9, right after the soup ended. The second one is the healer who stays quiet. Victim of abuse for 20 years. They couldn't talk about it. 2 and 3 years of therapy. Things got worse before they got better. Stage of deep soup. Then she wrote an Instagram post that got 10,000 direct messages from other survivors in 48 hours. Now she runs trauma support groups that help a lot of people. That's exactly it. That shame plus that silence makes it okay for other people to speak up. 3 years and 2 months have passed. Just when she thought she would never get better. The third one is the not-so-willing leader. They were shy and didn't want to be in charge. They just wanted to be left alone. For 4 months, God took away his comfort and made him be seen. After that he agreed to lead a small group. It led to revival. He is now in charge of a ministry with more than 200 people. That exact thing, that particular reluctance is what draws people in authenticity. Timeline. In week 18, everything changed. Can you see it? They didn't plan for this to happen. They didn't feel ready. But their exact journey made them exactly who they are now. And it always happened right after they were ready to quit. Luke 12 verse 1 talks about a group of people who are witnesses. Let me show you the shape. Joseph 13 years from the pit to jail to the palace. Moses 40 years from being a shepherd to being a leader. Years after being anointed, David is on the run from Saul. Esther from nobody to queen for a short time. Paul from prisoner to apostle. The pattern is that exact past plus exact pain equals exact calling. The enemy knows you just had a revelation and has a plan for what will happen next. So, I need to get you ready for it. Here are his exact 7 moves. If you know them ahead of time, you'll win. You'll know which attack is yours when I talk about them. Your body will be aware of that sudden stress or anxiety. That is your spirit telling you. This is the one I need to get ready for. The first type of confrontation is the doubt attack right away. This takes place within 72 hours of getting this message. That was just emotional manipulation. None of that was real. This is the enemy trying to steal the seed before it grows roots. Cynicism is a red flag. Quick reasoning that doesn't consider the spiritual. If you want to win, don't fight the thought. Say it out loud. Yes, aloud in your room or car. The voice breaks the mental loop. I felt what I felt. That was real. The second type is friction in a relationship. 4 to 10 days. Problems with a close friend or family member. Out of the blue for something silly. Why is this attack happening? Distraction plus being alone. The enemy wants you to focus on relationships with other people instead of your relationship with God. An unusually strong reaction to a small issue is a red flag. To win, you need to see it. In your mind, tell yourself, this isn't about the dishes. This is about my calling. Then deal with the real problem. anything fear, power, etc. The third type is where money is tight. 10 to 20 days unexpected costs, missed chances, and financial stress come up. Why is this attack happening? Check how much you trust people. Are you going to freak out and take back control? Sign of troubled, the urge to make hasty decisions. How to win? Ask yourself if this choice is based on fear or faith. If you're scared, wait. Not make a choice when you're rushed. If faith, do it even if it seems crazy. Clears throat, the fourth type is getting a ministry chance too soon. 15-25 days. You may be asked to speak, lead, or serve before you are ready. Why is this attack happening? Push you out too soon. Make it easy for you to fail. Flattery is a red flag. God told me you're the one. Putting pressure on her. How to win in 3 days. It will still be there if this is from God. It's not God if they can't wait. The fifth type is death without shame. 20 to 30 days. An old sin or failure comes back to you all of a sudden, allegation and flashback. Why is this attack happening? Get you kicked out. Worrying thoughts. You can't be who God says you are with that in your past. Bad dreams about past mistakes. To win, say your new name instead of your old shame. Say it. This is the sixth form. False calling. I was that. I'm not that anymore. 25-35 days. A chance to serve in the ministry that seems right but doesn't feel right. Why is this attack happening? Led you to something good that isn't God. There is no peace even though the doors are open. Alignment by force. Peace check is how to win. Does this make you feel calm or stressed? Even when things are hard, God's will brings peace. Taking the wrong path can cause stress even for simple things. Dark night return is the seventh form. 3,540 days, all of a sudden that soup stage feeling is back, being numb. God is gone again. Why are they attacking? Last test. Will you quit just before you make progress? Sign of troubled despair. I knew it was too good to be true. Here's how to win. Today is day 35 through 40. It's always 40 in the wild. You have 1 mile left. Giving up is the only way to fail. Don't do it. Be sober. Be vigilant. Says 1 Peter 5 verse 8 and 9. The Greek word for sober is nepho, which means clear-headed, not emotional. Gregorio is the Greek word for watchful. Stay awake and alert. The enemy moves in a certain way. He's not a stranger. He knows what to do. Learning how he plays means beating his game. You are now aware of the attacks. You already know what stage you're in, but being smart is half the battle. For the other half, there is a daily ritual to carry this out. Because revelation without ritual wears off, snorts, by Tuesday. I'm going to tell you how to get ready in the morning. No, this is not have a quiet time. We do this every day. Rituals are also powerful because they happen in real life. They make you use more than just your mind. Here is your morning activation plan. 15 minutes every day, no matter what. The first step is to position. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart and your palms facing up. Sit up straight. If you can't stand, your nervous system gets messages from your posture. Say this out loud. I'm receiving, not achieving. I'm just what you needed. I get the assignment for today. The second step is to recalibrate. Focus on your heart and your mind. Feel it beating. After that, ask yourself, what lie am I believing today? Be patient and wait for the answer. Do not push it. Say the opposite out loud when it comes up. The word "li" means I'm behind. I'm right on time is the truth. Step 3 is to make an inventory. Think back to yesterday. Ask 3 things. Where did I see God move? Where did I fight Him? What do I need to let go of today? Write in a journal only if you feel like it. Say these answers out loud. Thinking means being quiet. Hearing means spiritual. The decree is the 4th step. Say your declarations out loud. Do what this video taught you. God is incredibly proud of me. I say I bind the spirit of blind achievement. I'm no longer able to see myself through His eyes. 5th step, putting it all together. Clap your hands together once out loud in your mind. This breaks the spiritual stalemate. Then say, I've been sent. I'm ready. I'm just what He needed. After that, move. Do not sit down again. Start your day right away. That's your morning. Now, here's how to download in the evening before going to bed. The debrief is the first step. Where did I see the 7 forms of attack today? Enjoy your wins. I knew what form number 3 was and didn't freak out. The detox is the second step. In your mind, give your hands a hard shake for 30 seconds. You're letting go of the energy you took in from other people. Find out what you can carry and what you can't. Let go of what's not. The third step is to download. If you can, lie down with your palms facing up. Ask yourself, what did I miss today that you were showing me? Pay attention. Don't talk to fill the void. You'll get words, pictures, memories, and emotions. Do not translate. Just get it. Don't go crazy if you miss a day. It's not legalism here. Do it all over again. You can use the protocol. It's not served. Psalm 53 says, in the morning, I lay my requests before you and wait expectantly. The Hebrew word for layout is orak. It means to put things in the right order. Like setting the table. The morning isn't a mess. That's the plan. Set up on purpose. David also did more than pray and leave. He waited for a reply. During that pause, God talks. Now, let me tell you what I see in 90 days. I don't just mean God is going to do something. Pay attention. Days 1 through 21. This is the testing ground. I'm talking about specific times, dates, and markers. There will be an attack from each of the 7 forms. This is where you can prove yourself. You're going to get certified. Day 7, big problems in the relationship. Day 4, you reap the most stress is felt in terms of money. Days 18 and 19 bring up old shame. The next step depends on your answer. Attacks are seen as confirmation, not condemnation. This is a sign of success. The shift window is from days 22 to 45. Chances come up out of nowhere. Heaven opens up what earth shut down. In week 4, you got an invitation you didn't expect. Week 5, snorts, a conversation that changes the course of things. In the 6th week, a door opens. Do not agree with everything. Test in peace. Check. There will be an unusual amount of peace. At one point, it's yours. From days 46 to 70, things speed up quickly coming true. What was promised? Money flow, not a lottery. Fixing or ending a relationship. Both of them win. Calling became clear all of a sudden. It will be hard to breathe and almost too fast. Do your job and stay grounded. Do not let speed make you careless. There was no change from day 71 to 90. This will be your starting point. People will try to get back into old habits. A yearning for simpler times. The urge to give up just before full manifestation. Stay away from Egypt. The manna doesn't taste good, but it keeps you going. When you get to this point, you forget how hard life used to be. It feels right now. Certain confirmations to keep an eye out for. You will have a dream with water in it. In 14 days, remember it. Someone will say one phrase from this video to you within 30 days and they won't know you saw it. Within 60 days, there was an undeniable change in the money situation. It wasn't a huge change, but it was important. Someone from your past will show up again in 90 days. They marked the spot. Do not connect again. Just write down the time. The least will become 1,000, says Isaiah 6,022. I am the Lord. When the time comes, I'll do this quickly. In its time in Hebrew is 8th, set time, not a random one. Quickly means choosy, which means quickly. It looks like God moves slowly at first, then quickly. Joseph 13 years in jail, 1 day to the palace. David years in a row will be crowned 1 day. Esther an orphan will be queen 1 day. Long planning plus the right time equals sudden appearance. Before I sign this over you, I need to give you a job because you're no longer just listening. You carry things and carriers can be assigned. Your first paycheck go to your Egypts, the places you ran away from. You have been sent back as a deliverer. Not to stay to find out who is still there. Toxic place of work. Family system is broken. Circle of addiction. Act like a boss instead of a victim. The first one must be done within 30 days. When you don't fear going back, you'll know it's time. Your second payment. Say what you can't see. Call attention to the changes you see happening in other people. You can now see what God showed you. Tell someone, I see changes in you that you don't see yet. They'll fight back. Say it anyway. Put the seed down this week. Start with one person. Your third payment. Take care of your story. Now your story is medicine. Don't hide what God healed, but don't tell too many people what He's still healing either. Good judgment. Share if it's better. If healing, keep it secret. You know it's time when someone shares your old pain. For your fourth job, build a table, not a platform. Go deep instead of wide. Start with 1 to 5 people. Pour in a lot. Don't give in to the urge to grow before you get deeper. From day 22 to day 45, you'll want a platform. Hold out. This is your fifth order. Keep an eye on the secret spot. Things that happen between you and God are holy. Don't post every new thing. Not all manner is for the public. A few are for personal use. Rule: wait 3 days if you want to share it right away. Share if it's still burning after 3 days. Matthew 28 and NT to 20. The important job. Jesus just rose from the dead. After, not before. I have been given all power. Then you should go. It wasn't before the resurrection. It was after they couldn't leave until they were told they could. Your death was in the wild. You are rising from the dead right now. You are now in charge. You can now leave. It's not like any other prayer. This is a ceremony to turn things on. If you can put your right hand over your heart. If you have to drive or can't, just picture yourself doing this. Listen to your heart. That beat is proof that you made it through. Every beat is a prayer. Put your left hand out in front of you with the palm facing up as if you were receiving something. This is what activation looks like. You are not pleading. You are getting something that is already yours. The name of Yeshua, Jesus the Christ, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, is above all names. Based on the power He gave me, I can speak for you now. I declare that the mood around you is changing as I speak these words. Move everything that has been stopping you. Break every lie that has been holding you back. Let go of every delay that has been holding you back. Right now, heaven is wide open over you. The portals are open. The angels are in place. The next thing that happens is not a sign. This is real. This is power. This is turning on. God, you know this one. You should have seen the nights they couldn't sleep. They were scared every morning. Those times they cried in their car on the way to work. The hush prayers they said at 200, 300, and 4 o'clock a.m. to beg you to come. The times when they almost gave up. The hurts, betrayals, locked doors, and prayers that went unanswered made them feel like they were being left behind. But God, you see things they don't yet. You can see how that fire shaped the person. The pain gave birth to compassion and the wilderness gave rise to authority. You can see who they turned into. Father, I say this over them right now. It's crazy how proud you are. Not finally proud. Too proud to admit it. Now let that sink into their soul. They are shockingly proud of the person they have become. Now I seal the following over you in the name of Jesus Christ. This is the end of the revelation that God's pride is based on character, not performance. I seal the 7 changes that can't be seen. The power of silence, the magic of scars, and the worship in the midst of fire, the boundary plan, the paradox of the soft heart, the holy anger, and the secret worship. It's official. You're not getting better. You're changing into your own person. You're digging up your real identity. I seal the 3 stages of sacred change. You made it through the stripping. You put up with the soup. You're now in the taking shape. I seal the message. You are just what He needed. That is not eventually or almost. Right on. Now I seal the activation protocol in the morning and the download protocol in the evening over your daily rhythms. I sign off on the 90-day prophetic timeline. Days 1, 21. Testing ground. Shift window. Days 22-45. Days 467 Dolly speeding up. Normal life from days 71 to 90. I put the seals on the 5 requests. Go to your Egypts. Say what you can't see. Take care of your story. Make a table, not a platform. Keep an eye on the secret spot. Now I'm going to bind the following. I bind the spirit of blind achievement in 7 different ways. I bind them together. Number 1, an immediate doubt attack is bound. Form number 2, a relationship that is friction bound. The third form is a financial squeeze bound one. Form number 4, the ministry chance came too soon. Limited. The fifth form is the past shame resurrection. Limited. Number 6 on the form is for fake calling. Limited. 7th form. Dark night return. Limited. You don't have any power over this chosen one. You're done for in the name of Jesus. You are bound. That is, I lose the divine mirror spirit which lets me see myself as God sees me. I lose the spirit of the sacred alchemist, which is the power to turn pain into purpose. I lose the prophetic validator spirit, which means I can't tell when God is going to move or when. I feel the pride of your divine Father over you when He tells me to move. I feel His joy, His celebration, and His delight in who you've become. It's locked up in the name of Jesus. This is done. You will have a dream in the next 14 days. That backs up this word. If you wait 30 days, a door that was shut will finally open. In the next 60 days, you will clearly see changes in your finances. Someone from your past will show as a marker in the next 90 days. I promise that the exact version of you that you are now will be used in ways you can't imagine. I say that your pain has been turned into medicine and that your story is about to heal other people. It's now accelerating, which means things that used to take years will now happen in weeks. I say that the soup part is over. Putting together has begun. And soon you'll be able to see your wings. It's being said. It's the law. Heaven knew about it. In the name of Jesus, it will come true on earth. Now, chosen one, I need you to answer out loud, not in your head if you can, so heaven can hear your agreement. Are you ready to carry this? Are you ready to walk as the version of yourself that He needed? Are you ready to make someone's prayer come true? Are you ready to take care of what I just sealed for you? Say yes right now. If you answer yes, accept I got you. The most important thing is that He heard you. Your yes. Just set off the 90-day clock. Your yes. Just let the door open. Your yes. Just change the mood. Your agreement was seen by heaven. You have now been given orders. You are now turned on. You have been sent. You are no longer needed in the wilderness. You are no longer in the soup stage. You are no longer required to wait. Right now you're walking as the person He needed and chose. That's how proud He is. Live like it. Wait to say amen yet. Hold still for 10 more seconds. Now let it sink into your bones. Yes, you are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you" on this platform. Every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart. And as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community. Now, join the family and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.